We are going to walk into that darkness together, and we're not going alone. We have those four extraordinary guides for this journey. The great psychiatrist Carl Jung, the clear-eyed strategist Machiavelli, the quiet warriors known as the Stoics, and the enlightened mind of Buddha. They will be our lanterns, lighting the way for us, and we'll see that fear is not a prison, but sometimes it's the key to the freedom that we never knew we were missing. The title of this talk is When Desire Walks In, Wisdom for Men on Fire. There comes a time in a man's life, not just once, but over and over again, when desire walks in. And it doesn't knock. It doesn't explain itself. It just steps into the room with a scent, a gaze, a promise, or a memory. And when it does, you feel it deep in your gut, in your chest. And the way your thoughts scatter is like when birds are startled by thunder. But before we go any further, I need to tell you something. 4 powerful voices are going to help us understand what to do when desire shows up uninvited. First, there'll be Carl Jung, who will teach us to face the unconscious. Machiavelli, who unmasks how people use appearances to gain an advantage. And then we'll also use the wisdom of the Stoics, who teach us inner mastery in a world that we can't control. And then Buddha, who shows us how to observe desire without becoming its slave. You're about to hear their insights, but first, let's see how desire can twist the strongest man off course if he isn't ready. I remember being 21 in an acting class. The guest instructor was in her 50s. She was respected, had connections. She could have gotten me an audition just by making a phone call. But she gave me a certain look, not maternal and not professional. It was desire, directed at me. Now, I wasn't attracted to her, but I was young, hungry, burning with ambition, testosterone, and uncertainty. I wanted to make it, and I wondered, if I don't say yes, will I get left behind? That's how desire tricks you. It doesn't always come straight through attraction. Sometimes it enters through your ambition, or your loneliness, or your fear. Now that night, I didn't act on it, but I came close, and that moment stayed with me, not because of what happened, but because of what almost happened. I almost gave up peace of mind for a piece of something I didn't even want. Carl Jung said, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you'll call it fate. That's what unexamined desire does. It hijacks your life, and you think it's destiny. Machiavelli, on the other hand, understood how desire moves others. He said, men judge more by the eye than the hand, meaning people are drawn to appearances, but only a few know how to act with true insight. If you don't understand your motives, someone else will weaponize them. And then the Stoics, like Marcus Aurelius, they weren't about suppressing desire, they were about mastering it. Marcus said, you have power over your mind, but not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. The storm doesn't disappear, but you learn to sail through it. And then comes Buddha, the voice of compassion and inner clarity. Buddha taught, it is a man's own mind, not his enemy or foe, that lures him into evil ways. In other words, desire is not your enemy, it's your teacher. When you observe it without attachment, you begin to rise above it. You don't shove it down or chase it blindly. You bow to it, you understand it, and walk past in peace. So let's get practical. What do you do when desire walks in? Maybe you're married and someone smiles at you a little too long. Maybe you're broke and someone offers you money with strings attached. Maybe you're lonely and temptation wears perfume and says all the right things. Desire can look like salvation until you wake up with regret. So here's the work of a wise man, a man on fire who refuses to burn his own house down. Number 1, name your desires, not just the noble ones, all of them. Do you crave approval, status, touch, control, revenge? Bring it into the light, or it will sneak around in the dark. 2, ask, what is this desire asking me to trade? Your integrity, your rest, your values? Write it down. Every temptation comes with fine print. Be sure to read it. 3, create your own inner code. One sentence that holds you steady. Mine is, never betray peace of mind for short-term pleasure. Say yours out loud whenever you feel your heart speeding up. And then play the tape forward. You're tempted now, well, what's going to happen in 3 days after the thrill wears off and you're sitting with your choices? Regret is real, and so is dignity. And here's one thing that no one tells you, that you're not weak for wanting, you are strong for waiting. The world will say, take what you can get. Don't be a fool. Everybody else is doing it, but you're not everybody. You're a man who's choosing clarity over confusion, wisdom over impulse, legacy over lust. You still burn, but you burn with purpose, and you don't chase every scent in the air. You move with direction, and people will notice. They'll respect it. They may not say it to your face, but they'll watch you. And some of them will follow your example, because the world really needs right now is men who know how to burn without consuming, men who walk through fire and leave behind light. So the next time desire walks in, don't panic, don't hate yourself for feeling it. Stand tall, feel the flicker, and say with quiet power, not this time, I've got something better I'm building, and keep on walking. If you found value in this conversation, if it sparked an epiphany, an aha moment for you, then I ask you to do 3 things. First, click the like button. It's a small action, but it's a signal to the algorithm and to the world that this kind of wisdom, this kind of depth is valued and needed. Second, subscribe to the channel. And this isn't just a subscription, it's an enrollment. It's a commitment to a community of thinking people who are ready to take responsibility for their own souls and to help others do the same. And finally, share this video and take the message to people. Tell them about the lantern in the darkness. Tell them about the treasure in the shadow. Because the world is full of people who are lost in their own darkness, and you, yes, you, might be the very person who can light that way home for them. The monster in your shadow is waiting, but it's not holding a knife. It's holding a lantern, and it's waiting for you to have the courage to take it, to light the way home, not for yourself, but for all of us. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for being brave enough to look into the mirror and see not just the person you want to be, but the complete, glorious human being that you already are. God bless you.